I said I was going to buy, but I forgot.
My bossy for me. You will see where your king will stand up and object. Your dean will stand up for the
You should listen to your dean.
I will not bribe you. I will bribe you. I don't arrange the dean. Yes.
In fact, 20 down, push it, 20 left, just left. So maybe, yeah, she forgot.
No, I have to go and arrange. The key there is much.
Okay.
Okay. You can still give this life. That's at least between my so you can say because of one. Because I like to have
So your dean has spoken now. Now don't go and bring that of the lorry.
I don't do another one. Because they don't even recognize us so we do. Now, our best information back. This is not that I want. You are busy with those things that you want to do.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, this is
He's here with us, sir. Sorry, sir.
Is this heavy?
Heat. Go here, man. Can I do some few last minute changes?
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Where's the best person?
Chairman.
Yes, sir.
See, no AC here. Is it because it's not mathematics?
If it's math, you put it on.
My business, sir. See, he has challenged us. He said we should go and borrow fan outside. Because that place is hot.
It's okay, go.
Madam, please. Agree. Is this safe? S-E-E and T. No, don't go. No. Temperature of the body.
Normal.
Normal temperature.
Thank you, sir.
This time. This man is with us, yeah. Okay. Where's Potter?
Where's the chairman? Where? Okay, DBC. Come. You'll be with him.
Let's go. We have to be at the center. Create a space at the center. Sir.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
The university anthem. Thank you. May we be seated? The Vice Chancellor, sir, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I now most respectfully invite the Registrar and the Secretary to Council, Mr. Amos Madu Tolo, to introduce the occasion.
Vice Chancellor, sir, we are gathered here to receive the 105th Inaugural Lecture of this great university, titled Sustainability in Concrete Practice, Imperative Financial for Resources Conservation. The lecture is to be delivered by Engineer Professor Abdullahi Mohammed, Professor of Civil Engineering, Department of Civil Engineering, School of Infrastructure, Process Engineering and Technology. Vice Chancellor, sir, by the power conferred on me as the registrar of this university, I confirm that the meeting is properly constituted. It is my singular honor and privilege, sir, to invite you to take over the deliberations of this meeting. Vice Chancellor, sir.
Principal officers of the university, our most respected royal father, the Emir of Mapai, professors of these great universities that are here with us, our most invited guests, deans, directors of our various centers of the university, members of the press that are here with us. Good afternoon, everybody. It is a pleasure to welcome each and every one of us to this very important event, which is the 105th Inaugural Lecture in the series of the university, which is titled Sustainability in Concrete Practice, Imperative Panacea for Resource Conservation. The lecture is to be delivered by no other person than Professor Engineer Abdullahi Mohammed, a professor of civil engineering in the Department of Civil Engineering, Federal University of Technology, Minna.
You keep on standing.
Okay, I should stand.
Thank you very much. Thank you. The brief profile of the inaugural lecturer, who is Engineer Professor Abdullahi Mohammed, was born on 28th of February 1972 at Lapai in Lapai local government area of Niger State, Nigeria, to the family of late Alhaji Alfa Mohammed and late Hajia Kulusagi. He attended Kobo Primary School, Lapai, from 1977 to 1983, and later proceeded to Muhammad Kobo Secondary School, Lapai. He was an assistant class monitor at the senior secondary school and represented the school at several oral and written quiz competitions. In Niger State, he was the first set of students that wrote the senior school certificate examination, SSCE, in Niger State in 1989. He was at the School of General and Remedial Studies, Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, from 1990 to 1981. He later gained admission into the Department of Civil Engineering, Ahmadu Bello University Zaria. He graduated in October 1998 with second-class honor, upper division. He was with Zenith Engineers, a consulting structural engineering firm based in Kaduna, for a period of 1 year. And that was for his 1 year mandatory National Youth Service Corps scheme. And that was from March 1999 to February 2000. His working career started in the year 2000 at Federal University of Technology, Minna, where he was offered appointment as an assistant lecturer. He obtained his MNG, that is master's degree in civil engineering, at Federal University of Technology, Minna here, and a PhD in concrete technology at University of Tenaga, National Malaysia, in 2003 and 2010 respectively. He was promoted to the rank of professor in 2017. At Federal University of Technology, Minna, he has been involved in teaching, research, community service, and administrative duties. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I may be forced to say that this information is scanty. What Professor Engineer Abdullahi has done in this university is more than what we have read out. He has been involved in teaching, research, and community service and administrative duties. He has held several administrative positions, such as level advisor, that is the grassroots, welfare officer, project coordinator, departmental examination officer, postgraduate coordinator, head of Department of Civil Engineering Department, and currently the Director Academic Planning. I will also add that he is currently the Deputy Vice Chancellor Designate. He is also currently a member of the University Governing Council, and he has served in several committees at the departmental, school, and university-wide level. Notably among them are Chairman Task Force on Commercial Activities in the University Campus, Chairman Minor Works Committee, and Chairman University Loans Committee. He has over 50 publications in national and international journals, and he has attended several local and international conferences. He has supervised several undergraduate, postgraduate diploma students, masters in engineering students, and Doctor of Philosophy students, that's PhD. He has also served as an external examiner to several polytechnics and universities in the country at all educational levels. He has served as external assessor for promotion of academic staff to professorial rank from several universities in the country. He has served as a resource person to Council for the Regulation of Engineering Practice in Nigeria, that is COREN, and National Universities Commission as a resource person during NUC accreditation exercise. He has served in the year 2022-2023 and 2023-2024 PTDF Selection Committee for Overseas Scholarship Scheme. Professor Abdullahi is a corporate member of Nigerian Society of Engineers, NAC, Niger State Chapter, and a registered member of the Council for the Regulation of Engineering Practice in Nigeria, COREN. He is happily married with children. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to welcome and present to you Professor Engineer Abdullahi Mohammed, who is our inaugural lecturer.
Thank you very much. Mr. Vice Chancellor, other principal officers, members of the university community, distinguished guests present here. The theme of today's inaugural lecture is Sustainability in Concrete Practice, Imperative Panacea for Resource Conservation. Concrete is composed of material from organic, essentially from natural environment. And the utilization of this material for making concrete depletes the raw material and thereby distorting and degrading the environment. This is not sustainable as it mitigates against the attainment of goal 12 of the SDG, that is responsible consumption and production, and also the goal 7 of the Agenda 2063, that is environmental sustainability. So on the basis of this, the presentation of today dwells essentially on sustainable issues with respect to concrete practice that encourages consumption of material in such a way that it is not detrimental to the environment so that the earth is not exhausted. Some of these viable ways are the utilization of waste material in concrete, optimal use of concrete material, and novel method of means design and production of concrete. Essentially, concrete is a composite material made up of coarse aggregate, fine aggregate, and also cement, which serve as a binding material. So at the fresh state, you have concrete to be this at the fresh state, then it is flowable, and it can be molded into desired form so that you have the hardened state in that manner. So the use of this material actually degrades the environment, even though it serves a useful purpose for the society. Now, this raises concern over continuous availability of this conventional material for concrete for future use, and also for safety of life. Concrete is mostly used in construction material worldwide. It is used for many different structures, such as in buildings, in bridges, in dockyard, and so on and so forth. But for the purpose of this inaugural lecture, we limit ourselves to the structures that is, which is very common to people, where we live in every day, that is in buildings. As illustrated here, we have Burj Khalifa in Dubai. I think most of us have been there before. That is the highest building in the world. It has a height of 830 meters. Next, we have Stentec Tower in Johannesburg, that is in South Africa. That is the highest building in South Africa. It has a height of 237 meters. Next, we'll come back to our own country, Nigeria. The highest building is 160 meters based in Lagos, the Nicom House. Now we'll come back to Niger State. The highest building in Niger State is our CBN office complex with a height of 16.6 meters. Of course, we also have to look at our own darling institution, Federal University of Technology. The building with the highest height is our seat of power, the White House. That is the Senate building. It has a height of 11 meters. Now, concrete is composed mainly of cement, water, fine aggregate, and coarse aggregate. And to give different variation of the concrete material to ensure that it also possesses other different properties, it also have other inclusions, such as fly ash, rice husk ash, silica foams, and so on and so forth. Once these elements are added in concrete, it has the potential of improving or increasing some of the properties of concrete. So the aggregate can be divided into two. There may be fine aggregate or also coarse aggregate. But essentially, the demarcation line between fine aggregate and coarse aggregate is the sizes. If you have aggregate size less than 4.75 mm, it is classified as fine aggregate. Aggregate greater than 4.75 mm is classified as coarse aggregate. Now, the quality of concrete is essentially governed by the chemical composition of the cement and also other properties of its inclusion, such as the aggregate. The quality of concrete is also strongly affected by compaction, placement, and also curing. Essentially, properties of concrete can be categorized into two, either at the fresh state or at the hardened state. So at the fresh state, we have the workability, segregation, and bleeding. Workability is the ease within which concrete can be compacted, and they can also be handled, manipulated into form. Now, segregation is an undesirable property of the concrete material, where you have some of these inclusions. The aggregate, the cement paste moving away without being compacted into compacted mass. And that means that some of the inclusions are deficient. Probably there is not enough cement. So we also have a case of bleeding where water is oozing out of the concrete, probably because there is not enough water, or probably because the water is more than sufficient. It requires to be reduced, and that can easily be amended by adding more cement. But that has to be done in a sustainable manner. So on the hardened property of concrete, the most important property of concrete is the compressive strength. Others are the flexural strength, and also the stress-to-strain relationship, which is the Young modulus of elasticity. Yeah, we have mentioned issue of sustainability. Let's go right from the creation of human being. The Holy Quran has commanded us in chapter 55, verses 8 to 10. It says that you not transgress within the balance and establish weight in justice and do not make deficient the balance, and the earth is laid for the creatures. So that is to say, in the course of searching for material to produce concrete, we have to do it in a systematic manner. We have to do it in a sustainable manner, in such a way that we do not degrade the environment, in such a way that we do not make our environment unpleasant for the future generation. And that is what these 3 verses entails. Also, in Quran chapter 23, verses 32, it says, "And we made the sky a protected ceiling, but they, from its sign, are turning away." Okay, so that, you notice that some of the process of producing this material, for example, like cement, it involves high consumption of energy. Okay, and you know cement is produced from the rock fragment. Okay, and the entire production process emits quite significant amount of waste into the environment, such as methane, such as carbon dioxide. In fact, the production of cement alone amounts to essentially produces 70% of the carbon dioxide emitted to the atmosphere. You can see these methods are not sustainable, and by implication, there is need to look for more sustainable material to be used in the production of concrete, so that we are able to sanitize the environment and create a better living for the future generation. So in that case, there must be protection of natural environment to ensure sustainability. Yeah, so issue of sustainability, the world is characterized by finite resources and sources of energy. So most of these concrete are produced from rock fragment and also from sand, essentially from dredging of river sand. But we say they are finite material, and again, a country like Nigeria, a developing country, construction will continue, okay, because there is a lot of pressure on housing and other developmental drive. So construction will continue, and there will be continuous exploitation of these natural resources to make life better. But again, continuous depletion of these resources is also unsustainable. Okay, so goal 12 of SDG and goal 7 emphasizes on sustainable consumption of raw material and environmental friendliness. Yes, you can see the after effect of some of this construction activity. You can see sand pit, a very deep gully, also from the gravel pit, and also you can see the activity of quarry site there, emitting quite substantial amount of waste and dust to the environment, and also degrading the entire landmass. Now, on sustainability issues, there are 17 SDG goals and also 20 goals for the Agenda 2063, which is tagged the African we want. Now, the emphasis of my research is on responsible consumption and production, and also environmental sustainable and climate resilience community and economy. Yeah. To achieve sustainable living, there is need to pay much attention to the way in which humans deal with the natural environment. This leads to inevitably the concept of sustainable development, and this essentially encompasses economic well-being of the society, and also the need to give due diligence to the environmental wellness. By the time you encompasses this characteristic, you are guaranteed that, okay, we have a more sustainable society where everybody will be happy living in a sustainable manner. Okay, so you can see this picture depicts a model, a natural and a beautiful, serene environment. Yes, this is the annual data for the consumption of raw material. You can see concrete is the most consumed material in the world after water. Okay, water is higher, you see. Like one of the singers said, water not get enemy, is it not? So it is on that basis, concrete is second to water in terms of consumption. So we have 30 billion concrete is consumed in 2021, 4 billion of Portland cement, still 2 billion in that order, and the minimum is sugar, 168 million in 2021. I think this actually makes sense. Too much consumption of sugar causes a lot of sickness. Yeah. So the production of Portland cement requires the utilization of huge amount of energy, okay, and it also amount to liberation of over 7% of what carbon dioxide. Concrete industry uses vast quantity of other material, such as sand, gravel, and crushed rock. It also uses quite significant amount of water because water forms a central point in the production of concrete, okay? Without presence of water, there cannot be any hydration that tends to bind the concrete together into a finished product. Now, to reduce the ugly trend, that is the environmental degradation, it is imperative to make the concrete industry much more sustainable. Fortunately, with the current worldwide reservoir of knowledge, which is available in the Nigerian university, this is achievable. We can achieve it. Yeah. So these are some of the steps required to obtain sustainable concrete. The use of high-strength concrete, making concrete much more durable, placing up to half of the Portland cement with cementitious materials, using of fillers, manufacturing Portland cement more efficiently, using waste material as well, using recycled concrete and other industrial waste as aggregate, finding ways to capture and store carbon dioxide, using clean dust in some application, using less amount of water, and lastly, improving structural design and building code. Most of my research is underpinned by some of these principles, which I'm going to highlight in due course. Yeah. Sustainable concrete, essentially, we look at the concept of reduce, reuse, and recycle of the material. So that will guarantee that material are not necessarily waste, but rather they are optimized. So sustainable concrete, we need to optimize the material. You need to recycle and manage waste efficiently, and there is need to imbibe innovation in material and processes. And lastly, we have improvement and optimization of structures. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, that is the brief preamble on the literature that underpin my research. I have been involved in research in concrete technology over 2 decades. Some of my research, essentially, the research output are in alternative construction materials, development of mixed design methods, testing and characterization of concrete products, and numerical modeling of concrete properties. Some of my research output are outlined as follows. Yes, the modeling of slump compressive strength and density of concrete containing coconut shell as partial replacement of for crushed granite. The coconut shell is an agricultural waste, and they constitute nuisance to the environment. These coconut shells were actually harnessed, and we use them to simulate the normal size of coarse aggregate, and they are used to partially replace coarse aggregate in concrete. The coconut shell is a new material, so its misdesign is quite a laborious task, and we did it, and to ensure that several mixes were done, and trial mixes. And at the end of the day, we created a feasible region for the production of this type of concrete. And at the end of the day, we achieved a concrete with a strength of 27.11 newtons per millimeter square and a density in the range of 1757.04 kilogram per meter cube to 2198.52 kilogram per meter cube. By virtue of its weight, it's now falling within the range of lightweight concrete. And the strength range, since 27 is more than 20, this type of concrete can be used for structural application. We also monitor the slump, compressive strength, and density, and we develop some polynomial models that can be used to predict some of these properties. This is very important because I've earlier mentioned that the misdesign of this concrete is quite difficult, so that this model can be used. The model, that is the equation, can be embedded in Excel, so that the concrete community can use some of these input variables, such as water cement ratio, total aggregate cement ratio, and total coarse aggregate to total coarse to total aggregate ratio. They are the input variable. This equation can be embedded in a Excel component, and they can be used as input variable, so that for given target performance requirement, using your input variable, you are guaranteed to arrive at the target requirement. If you want a strength of 20, if you want a strength of 30, you can play with the input variable, and you are good to go. Further to this, we look at characterization of palm oil clinker aggregate. This aggregate is obtained from another agricultural waste, so to say. That is palm oil shell. Palm oil shell is a byproduct, or rather a waste. We call it a waste in this part of the country, obtained in the milling process. So in my research, we incinerated the palm oil shell to obtain the palm oil clinker. To obtain the palm oil clinker, that is the lump palm oil clinker in its raw form. They were crushed down using a crushing machine to different size degradation, and they are later sieved, so that we have the fine aggregate portion and also the coarse aggregate portion. Now, several aggregate properties were conducted, such as absorption, bulk density, void in aggregate, specific gravity, sieve analysis of the aggregate, and they were all found to be in agreement to the relevant standard, which implies that they can conveniently be used for the production of lightweight concrete. My research further went to use some of this palm oil aggregate to do misdesign, because we say there are new material. Because of the novelty, we need to do some trial mixes, so that we have acceptable, feasible region that we feel that, okay, they are quite okay. That is testing from the fresh property of the concrete. You'll be able to have a direct indication that, okay, this concrete, this type of mix will be adequate, and it will be guaranteed to have concrete of a desirable strength. That is the strength, compressive strength, flexural strength, and also the modulus of elasticity. So at the end of this research, we got a product like this. That is water cement ratio against cement content. And you can see that we have a feasible region. I think most of our mathematicians here were used to optimization using a graphical method. So we now have this feasible region. All the mixes within the feasible region, we have tested it, and we are guaranteed that they can be used for the production of concrete. Further, yes. Further, we went to look at the compressive strength and absorption of concrete using natural and palm oil clinker aggregate. By saying natural aggregate in this case, that means we use sand. If you have lightweight concrete with sand as fine aggregate and palm oil clinker, the lightweight, as coarse aggregate, this type of aggregate is called lightweight, sand lightweight concrete. Sand lightweight concrete. Essentially, why I've decided to dwell most of my research on lightweight concrete, okay? It is essentially because if you look at in reinforced concrete design, the bulk of reinforcement, Mr. Vice Chancellor, that is being provided in our structural application, the bulk of the reinforcement itself carries the self weight of the concrete. It carries the self weight of the concrete. So if you have a lighter concrete with a lighter weight, we are guaranteed that we are going to use a smaller amount of reinforcement. And that, with that, there will be overall economy in the entire framework. The construction method will be much more reduced, and there will be quite amount of money saved in that process. So experimental design was implemented, and at the end of the day, for the sound lightweight concrete, we achieved a maximum strength of 41.6 Newton per millimeter square, and a unit weight of the concrete to be 1821 kilogram per meter cube and 22.14 kilogram per meter cube at 28 days. And this is in the category of lightweight concrete. And this is quite economical. And again, mind you, most of the aggregate we are using here, they are from waste material. Okay? So we are rather disposing waste into concrete, thereby sanitizing the environment. Yes, these are some of the results we obtained. You can see the strength there, and the absorption are relatively small, and it is acceptable within the knowledge of our concrete domain. Yeah. Further, we want to look at numerical modeling of lightweight concrete mixtures using palm oil clinker as a coarse aggregate. Here we employ a central composite design to develop some factor setting within the mixed field, because we said the palm oil clinker is a new material, and its mixed design is quite laborious because the palm oil clinker, the aggregate, is a novel material. So we develop a central composite design for to design the concrete and also produce some mixes. So the modest statistics at the end of this result shows reasonable response prediction capabilities. So some of the properties of concrete tested, Mr. Vice Chancellor, are normally we have to test the fresh property, which is slump. Once the slump is not adequate, you cannot go further to test another property of the concrete. That means have to be discarded. So within our variable space, we develop some slump model, and we have the model as you have seen on the board, Y1 as a function of X1, X2, S3, and essentially these are all polynomial models. Then we also develop a response surface plot, which actually gives a pictorial relationship between the responses, such as the slump, and the independent variables, such as the water-cement ratio and also the cement content. So that is the surface plot. Further, we have for air dry density. We will continue to monitor the density because we are saying that this is a lightweight concrete. So if the density is high, we know that we are not getting the advantage of strength/density relationship. There is no advantage in gaining that. So in this research, we are gaining advantage of recycling waste. We are also gaining the advantage of producing lightweight concrete with a much more reduced reinforcement. Okay. So we also have we have the surface plot for air dry density. We have the surface plot for the compressive strength model, and also for the modulus of elasticity. If the stress to strength relationship is also not feasible, it means that that concrete cannot be used for structural application. But here, the modulus of elasticity is quite high, and it can be used for structural application in this type of concrete. Yes, we went further to look at equations for mixed design of structural lightweight concrete. Because, Mr. Vice Chancellor, what you have in the literature now, there are several code and standards that are used for the mixed design of concrete. But here, we are dealing with a novel material, which we do not have mixed design code anywhere in the world. So in my research, I have decided to look inward so that we develop equations that can be used so that the concrete community, especially the novices, can take advantage of some of these equations to use them in in conducting MIS design. And one of the advantages is that the system is automated. The system is automated. You just only need to impute some of the independent variable, and you get your performance. You have an indication what will be the strength parameter, what will also be the slump of the concrete. So in my research, we developed some model. Some model were developed in Microsoft Excel. And essentially, the ACI code was used, standard practice for selecting MIS proportion for structural lightweight concrete. The original component, the original document itself, essentially contains tabular data and chart. And using them for MIS design is quite a laborious task. You have to be involved in several trial and error. And you also need experts that can adequately utilize some of this data. So in this research, we developed some equations that can be easily be handled. And once these equations are embedded in Excel component, so that you create some input variables within Excel, and Excel will calculate the output parameters for you. And this approach is quite simple, also convenient. It can be used by novices in computing, developing MIS design for concrete. Yes, after developing some of these equations were validated physically. Also, the researcher also used some computation in some textural sources and tried to compare and validate some of the equations developed in this work. And you can see we have the tabular data for the weight method of MIS design and volume method of MIS design. You can see the output obtained there, the output for the method of using equation. That is my own approach compared to some of the cases we have in reputable textural sources. You will notice that most of the MIS design output are close. And this is to validate that the equations developed in this work are adequate and have the capacity to be used in MIS design of concrete. Yes. So further to that, yes. Further to that, we developed graphical user interface for proportioning lightweight concrete. Before I continue, let me seize this opportunity to also thank the Emir, the Etu Lapai Alhaji Umar Bagodi III, for creating time to be here, and also his entourage. I'm most grateful, sir. Yes. Yes, so we developed a graphical user interface. We say we have developed some equations, okay? But again, we also have some set of engineers, they are afraid of mathematics, okay? And we said the university lecturers, the researchers, we are problem solvers. So we also consider this category of people, and we develop a user interface so that you just only need to input some of the parameters there within the user interface. The other interface will do the computation for you, and you get the output. So yes, so we have actually automated this MIS design using a graphical user interface, and we use the MATLAB environment. We did the coding to develop the graphical user interface, and we found that this graphical user interface provides a pictorial interface between the user and the computer program. It also provides a friendlier environment with the help of our components such as figures and callback. Don't worry, these are terms we use in our programming, so don't worry. Yes, so at the end of the day, this is the graphical user interface we developed for MIS design of lightweight concrete. Those equations were embedded into our programming. And the user have the opportunity to utilize any of the method, whether weight method of MIS design or volume method of MIS design. And in each step, there is a window to show us the graphical relationship This is very important. It's going to aid the MIS designer to take some decisions. Also, we have a unit conversion, where we have decided to incorporate the unit conversion. As a researcher, we should be seen as contributing to the world, not Nigeria alone. We are worldwide researchers. So using unit conversion, whether in metric unit or the imperial unit, because if you say an American and you are telling him this is 1 meter, if you want to slaughter him, he doesn't know how 1 meter look like. Okay, but if you are telling him about feet and yard, he actually knows what you mean. So this unit conversion takes care of those things, so that whether you are studying in a British method or in the American system, this graphical user interface will be found useful and applicable to you, and it can be used worldwide. Yes. So the graphical user interface, as an engineer, we work with precision. We work with precision. So we have developed the product, and it is also very important we validate it, that it's actually working. So what you have here, Mr. Vice Chancellor, we also went to check some computation in textural sources to compare it with our graphical user interface. The first column is the computation using the graphical user interface, and the second component is the trial problem from textural sources and the errors incorporated by comparing the two. You can see the maximum error there is 8.56%. Other errors are quite less than 1, 0 point something. Yes, it is interesting to note that the error of 8.56% is actually caused by the author themselves in trial problem 1. Because when I noticed that error in this research, I have to call the author of that textbook. It's an American author. I called him, we interacted, and he said, yes, he made a mistake in taking some of the input parameter in the tabular data. And that is why we are saying utilization of this code is not adequate enough, especially in countries like in Nigeria, whereby the input variable, the material we are using in construction, are not the same with the type of material that is being used in the other part of the world. It is high time that we develop our own code to be used in engineering practice. Thank you. Yes. Yes, further to that, we look at the evaluation of rubber crate based on ultrasonic pulse velocity and rubber hammer. In Nigeria, a lot of waste are being generated. This tire waste. We have so many cars on the road now, and with that, there are tear and wear. It's just that these days, with the coming of removal of subsidy, the amount of vehicle on the road have much more reduced. Otherwise, substantial amount of waste are being generated to the environment, and this constitutes environmental nuisance, Mr. Vice Chancellor. So in this research, we are always interested in disposing waste in concrete, but I don't want to call it waste, rather, but we're trying to say, okay, we recycle it. We dispose it into the concrete. So the tire is a solid material. So what we did in this research, we bond the tire and grind it to a smaller size fraction, as you can see. Tire of this size fraction, we call it chrome rubber. We call it chrome rubber. The chrome rubber was used to develop concrete, and it shows promising superior properties. Okay? And on that, concrete mixes of 0 to 30% chrome rubber content was used, and it gave us quite high strength. And we further went to that to do some non-destructive testing, such as rubber hammer and also ultrasonic pulse velocity. These are non-destructive testing. They are very important, so that they can be used to monitor the health condition of our structures, Mr. Vice Chancellor, without the need to carry out non-destructive testing. I think it is high time for public universities and generally even public institutions like government that in any structure under construction, there is need to have data on the non-destructive properties, Mr. Vice Chancellor, such as the ultrasonic pulse velocity and Robin hammer. The data we are seeing on the instrument, they are graphical data, and they are actually used, those data were developed by those countries that produces those equipment. And the data there does not necessarily give a direct reflection of what is obtainable in this part of the world. So it is very important that ab initio, during construction, we should develop some of this non-destructive testing to get the relationship between rebound hammer and UPV and relate it with the concrete. They can be used in later maintenance of our structure. So some models were developed and were validated statistically. And they give high correlation capabilities. And these are some of the equations for 3 days, 7 days, 28 days. They are all polynomial models, and they have the capacity to predict some of the properties of the concrete. They are so numerous. These are some of the equations developed from this work, and they were actually all published in reputable journals. You can see the compressive strength as a function of UPV with high predictive capability. 7-day curing period, you have compressive strength relating UPV and so on and so forth. So we also went further to look at analytical and experimental studies on composite slab utilizing palm oil clinker. Palm oil clinker. Now, palm oil clinker, since we have so many mix, and we say they are adequate to be used for structural application. So some of the mix were actually used, and were used actually to produce slab, but rather a composite slab, where the lower portion is made up of steel profile. And at the end of the day, this is the arrangement of the composite floor with steel profile sheeting. Mind you, the component of the concrete, substantial amount of it, they are actually waste. But we are now disposing them into the concrete so that they can be sustainably be used within the building. So we have this arrangement, and this composite slab gives a promising properties. Okay, it gives mechanical interlock and friction between the steel and concrete 117.67 Newton per millimeter square and 0.0973 Newtons per millimeter square. Design horizontal shear, the horizontal shear, which have the tendency of causing shear or the distortion of the entire framework of the using MK value and PSC method are 0.248 Newtons per millimeter square and 0.215 Newton per millimeter square. And this agree reasonably well within the standard. And this justifies that palm oil clinker can be used as a flooring material for structural application. Yes. Yes, still on the palm oil clinker concrete, we still went further to look at other structural parameters, such as the shear strength of the concrete, that is the POCC beams. You can see the arrangement here. Some of the means we have earlier validated were used to produce a reinforced concrete beam. We have it there. This is a live scale testing. Now, at the end of the day, the study revealed that the failure mode of POC reinforced concrete beam is similar to that of conventional reinforced concrete. But you know, that of conventional concrete is quite capital intensive. It also leads to depletion of the raw material. It's also degrading the environment. So why must you continue to be using those materials where we actually have waste and they prove to be adequate to be used as structural application. Thank you. Yes, so these are some of the results we obtained that actually shows superiority of this waste material to be utilized for structural application. Further, from shear strength parameter, because shear only have the capacity, the shear disturbance try to cut the entire beam element into two. But we know that our beam element is a flexural member. It's also subjected to bending, not tension alone. So there's also need to check the flexural strength of the concrete, that is the POCC concrete. That was done, and this is the bending behavior of the concrete, okay? And in this work, it shows that we use a reinforcement ratio of 0.34 to 2.21% was used in developing the concrete. And some of the parameter studies, we are talking about the flexure means bending. So some of the properties we look at are deflection, cracking characteristics, and also ductility indices. These are some of the flexural parameters that were used. So at the end of the day, this study shows the flexural behavior of reinforced POC concrete beam is comparable to other type of lightweight concrete. And it is deemed fit that this can be used for structural application also. Yes, so these are some of the results that underpin these studies to prove its superiority and acceptability for structural use. Yes, further we look at statistical model for concrete containing wood chippings as partial replacement to fine aggregate. Yes, we have a lot of woodwork activities around in this part of the world. And a lot of waste is being generated in the timber shed. So, and this research, we utilize, thank you. So this research, we embedded these wood chippings as fine aggregate in concrete. And at the end of the day, the strength is actually favorable, indicating that they can be used for structural application. So we also developed some models to predict some of the properties of this concrete. These models are very important because by the time you use this model, you can, during misdesign, you can have some prediction, estimation of some of the desirable properties you needed, so that you now use some of the input variables in doing your misdesign. So that is the essence of some of these properties of concrete. So they are here, so many of them. So we also look at modified water cement ratio law for compressive strength of rice horse ash concrete. At the beginning, I've earlier mentioned that some of the inclusions in concrete are rice horse ash. So there is an existing law of water cement ratio by Abraham law, but rice horse ash has found application in concrete technology. So, and we believe that the existing law of Abraham law cannot be applicable for rice horse ash concrete because of the inclusion of the rice horse. So in this research, we conducted some myths and we evaluated them, and at the end of the day, we came up with this equation 59 to modify the long historical heritage of the Abraham law. We now have our own law for the water cement ratio and compressive strength, which is equation 59. Yes, there's also a graphical user interface for proportioning misadjustment of lightweight concrete. Mr. Vice Chancellor, like I've earlier mentioned, within the concrete community, we use some of this code in conducting our misdesign. And we are saying they are not efficient enough. And also, by the time you have the first trial batch, there is always need for misproportioning adjustment. Now, the experience gained by inaugural lecturer over the years was put together to serve as diagnostic aid for misproportioning adjustment to aid the concrete community. So, in the course of doing this, we developed a flow chart and assembled this knowledge together. This is the flow chart, looking at fresh weight of concrete, The researcher look at issue of workability, issue of strength, issue of density, and we said these days we want automation. The younger generation do not want too much stress, okay? And we say researchers, as researchers, we are problem solver. So we try to embed this flow chart in a user interface, and we have this. This is a diagnosis and adjustment of misproportionate performance of lightweight concrete. This interface alone can help you in all your problems in your misproportionate adjustment. Yes. Thank you very much. Mr. Vice Chancellor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Etulapai Bagadoji. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. So, in conclusion, it is interesting to note that sustainable construction method and sourcing of material ensures availability of resources for the future generation and will reduce the degradation of the environment. Recycle of solid waste in concrete, which most of us call material waste. It is recycled. Recycle of solid waste in concrete is a sustainable way of sanitizing the environment, which will reduce the use of conventional concrete material, thereby maintaining the ecological balance. Concrete produced from waste material have shown superior structural characteristics, as we have seen in various research, and can be used for structural application. Polynomial models and response surface plot, as we have highlighted, have the capacity of predicting the properties of concrete for giving mixed composition and give pictorial view. Those are response surface plot. Those are the pictorial view of the underlying relationship. Equations, we have shown several equations, and we have seen their capacity to be used as means design aids. Graphical user interface, okay, those interface is an effective tool for means design of concrete in a simple and convenient manner. All these tools and means design process have the potential and have advantage of minimizing waste. In my conclusion, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I would advise engineers and other professionals in the construction industry should put learning into use so that humanity can benefit. Yes. Yes. Also, I want to advise our contractors should be held responsible on sustainable ways of construction, mainly on optimization of use of material and creation of sustainable way of disposal of unused material, including wastewater. I was in a university whereby some of this wastewater used in construction found their way to fish pond and kill all the fishes there. So that is unsustainable. And on this ground, I want to advise the university and the government to ensure that our contractor, they should imbibe sustainable way of construction. Otherwise, most of them, Mr. Vice Chancellor, don't approve the contract to them. And also, boss and sis don't pay them if they don't ensure sustainable way of living. Thank you. So the use of sustainable material, alternate material for concrete work maintains the ecological balance and should be encouraged both in the public and private sector. Minimization of waste material for construction work should reduce material depletion and make preservation for the future. Yes, acknowledgement. Yes, I am very grateful to Almighty Allah for all His guidance and support, which has made it possible for me to present this inaugural lecture today. I wish to greatly appreciate my parents, late Alhaji Alfa Mohammed and late Haji Akulusai, for their immense effort in the course of my upbringing and training. May Allah's rahmah be with them, and may He accept them in Al-Jannah Firdaus. My sincere appreciation goes to my uncle and aunties. Some of them are here, and some of them are unavoidably absent. Today, they have accepted me more of a brother, since my parents are no longer alive. Thank you very much. I am highly indebted to the following great scholars for their contribution towards my academic pursuit. Professor AJ of ABU Zaria, Professor O.S. Abejide, Professor Sunubi, Professor Afolayan, Professor Amati, Professor Idris Abakar, all of Ahmadu Bello University. I had my first degree there. They were so wonderful. They have taken me as their friend. That relationship still exists up to date. I am very grateful to them. And also, I shouldn't forget Professor Tunde Adegboye, now of FUT Minna. You see here, they are so wonderful. Yes. I have my PhD supervisor is Professor Hashim Mohammed Ali Matane of now Yarmouk University, Jordan. He's a Jordanian. We met in Malaysia. And also I have Professor Bashir Sami Mohammed, now of University Technology, Malaysia. They are very wonderful. Since my contact with them, they have insisted that they have insisted that I should look for PhD candidate from them, from Nigeria. I have done that. And this PhD candidate, they have done excellently well. Thank you. Yes, my special appreciation goes to the administration of FUT Minna under the excellent leadership of the Mr. Vice Chancellor, Professor Adamu Kuta, and his management team for the support towards making this occasion a reality. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I am grateful. Thank you, sir. I wish to acknowledge former Vice Chancellors, late Professor Mohammed Dania of blessed memory. He employed me in this university. He found me worthy to be employed in FUT Minna. We also have Professor Tukur Saad. He gave me study fellowship to go for the PhD degree program. I also have Professor M.S. Audu and Professor Emi Akanji. Professor M.S. Audu appointed me as Vice Chancellor. That opportunity, he appointed me as the head of department. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Professor M.S. Audu appointed me as the head of department. And later, Professor Emi Akanji found me worthy to continue as the head of department. You know, Professor Akanji always tells us that head of department, you are the vice chancellor in your university. You are the vice chancellor. That is why I'm making that mistake. Yes. Yes, I want to especially appreciate the immediate vice chancellor, Professor Abdullahi Bala. He's especially appreciated because he has served as a great pillar in my life, being very supportive and providing opportunities to serve the system in various capacity, in various areas of endeavor. I am very grateful. He is unavoidably absent, but I still have to appreciate him. I also have past principal officers. Mrs. V.N. Kolo, she's here. I am grateful, ma. Professor A.O. Osunde is unavoidably absent. My own Professor S.O.E. Sadiku, a former Deputy Vice Chancellor, and also a veteran of academic planning. I appreciate you. We have Professor M.A.T. Suleiman, former Vice Chancellor, former Deputy Vice Chancellor. Professor Y.A. Iyaka is appreciated. Late Alhaji U.A. Sadiq, a former registrar and also a co-administrator. I still have to appreciate him. Professor T.Z. Adama, Professor M.D. Usman, and my own auntie here, Mrs. Hajara Kuso. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you all. I have to appreciate them because they have made FUT a comfortable place for my career progression. I thank you all. Next, I also have to appreciate the school I come from, the SAPET, and also SET, the School of Engineering. They have been very supportive to me. I have a lot of friends there. You know, I'm a weak person. That is why I have friends all around. They have supported me in various ways. I thank you, all of you. I cannot mention this name. Otherwise, that will have been another different inaugural lecture. Yes, thank you all. I also want to appreciate our mother, Professor Zaidi Osunde, and also all former dean of School of Engineering. I am grateful to you all. To my darling department, Civil Engineering Department, Civil Leads, Yes, I'm also happy to announce here that the Etul Lapai Alhaji Umar Bagoji III is also a renowned civil engineer. Yes. Yes. Yes, my own father, Engineer A.A. Lapai, is also a #1 engineer in the state. I also want to appreciate him. Actually, Engineer A.A. Lapai graduated from Ahmadu Bello University the year I was born. Yes, exactly the year I was born. So I believe that I had to return to Ahmadu Bello University to continue with his good work. I went there and I graduated with second class upper. But Engineer A.A. Lapai has made it excellently in the public domain as an engineer. So I believe that I have to go and venture into other areas to create niches for myself. Mr. Vice Chancellor, that is why I'm here. Thank you. Yes, so to my darling department, I have received so much support from all of you. Let me start with my late, the first head of department I met, late Professor Ibi Oyetola. He took me as a father, he supported me. I'm very grateful to him. I'm very grateful to him, and I pray that I should continue to live in eternal rest. Also, we have other head of department like Professor Odi Jimo. He was one time head of department. He was also my lecturer at master's level. Then Professor S. Osadiku is a real mentor, a co-administrator, an applied mathematician, applied physician, a structural engineer, turned an administrator. I'm very grateful for him. He's my mentor. He's not here. He's unavoidably absent. I have to appreciate him. Yes, there are so many people here. I have my current head of department, Dr. Musa Alassam. I appreciate you. The immediate past head of department is Dr. M.M. Alaji. It's my source of motivation. Even though there are things I cannot do, he said, Abdullahi, you are capable, go and do it. I'm very grateful. Then I have this huge senator, Dr. M. Saidu. He's my brother, but he has taken all my problems to be his own since the first day we met. I'm grateful, sir. Yes, sir. So there are elders in my department. There are some category of people I call my elders. Professor J.I. Agua, Professor T.Y. Tado, Professor A.A. Amadi, Dr. S.F. Oritola, and Engineer James Olaimi. I have learned a lot from you. I have learned a lot from you. Thank you very much. You have imparted so much into my life. Others are my friends, even though they look at me as superior. I look upon them as my friend. We have Dr. Adejumo, Dr. S.S. Kolo, Dr. A.O. Busari, Adesiji, Abbas, Yusuf, Abakar, Dian Kolo, Mrs. Badebo, Hassan Abdraman, Jumo, Ibrahim, A.A. Aliu, H.O. Aminullah, Songwa. We have Mohammed H. Adamu, S. Adeni, Mohammed Suleiman. We have Ilyas Zongo and Agbese Bechila. Then we have some of the administrative staff attached to us. We have Saidu and Alaji. And I have to mention this name so that they should know that I appreciate them, especially the technologists. When I was head of department, I was very close to my technology because I value practical work. They were so supportive. If I give them money, they were going to use it to buy the equipment as we have proposed that. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I want to mention that there was a time the chief, I gave him money to buy equipment. He did that. He returned the money for me. I said, no, this is what we are budgeted for. He said, no, you won't take the money, take it. But I said, okay, use it to buy other consumables. Sir, let us continue to trust ourselves in the system. We still have credible person. And the chief in that lab is Sani Adeni. Is he here? Okay, thank you very much. Yes, I am grateful to my friends and classmates. You notice that I made this slide specially because I value friends and classmates. My childhood friends, they are so numerous, I cannot mention them. Secondary school classmates, the Loba family attended Muhammad Kobo Secondary School, Lapai. Most of them are here. Thank you for coming. My undergraduate classmate, that is the picture for my undergraduate classmate. Some of them are here. I want to thank you all. FUT Minna friends, they are so numerous. I have friends across all the state, across all geopolitical zones, across various ethnic groups. Thank you all. I cannot mention the name. They are so numerous to mention, sir. They have been very useful to me. My professional colleague, that is the Nigeria Society of Engineers and Council for the Regulation of Engineers. So numerous friends who have been useful, working together for the common good of the nation. My friends at NUC, Mr. Vice Chancellor, you introduced me to them. I have so many friends at NUC now because of you. I thank all of them. There are some category of people, they drag me to be their friend, but I say they are older than me. So I would rather call them elders and family friends. They are Dr. Halilu Shaba Ahmad, Malam Amidu Abdullahi of Microbiology Lab, Malam Abdul Garba, former bossa, QS Suleiman of, he has a consulting firm in Abuja, and also Engineer Shaba Nokoji of FCDA. I thank them all. I'm indebted to the staff of Academic Planning Unit for their unfleeting support and team spirit demonstrated in the discharge of duties for the unit since I assumed the mantle of leadership of the Academic Planning Unit. I am grateful. So in Academic Planning, we work 24 hours. We don't work from 8 and close at 4 o'clock. We work 24 hours. We also don't have weekend. We work both 7 days in a week, 24 hours in a day. Thank you. I'm also grateful to immediate past and current chairman, Professor B.C. Alex Ayenwale and Professor J.J. Musa, and members of the Seminar and Colloquium Committee for all the support and effort made to make this occasion a reality. I thank you all. Engineer Isa Kure is not here. He's of Urban Shelter Limited. Was responsible for obtaining financial support for my PhD program to Malaysia through Niger State Government. I am very grateful to him. Yes. I wish to express my special appreciation to past and present students I have had contact with in my lecturing career for their commitment towards academic excellence. I am very grateful to them. His Royal Highness, Alhaji Umaru Bagodi III, Bagadoji. Bagadoji. Yes, sir. I want to especially appreciate you for giving me a sense of belonging and for making it possible for attending my inaugural lecture. I am very grateful, sir. I am proud to be a product of a polygamous home with so many siblings and cousins. I'm proud to be in the midst of a mega family. Togetherness has been a source of inspiration for hard work and dedication. Mentioning all of these people will be another inaugural lecture of its own. I love you all. To my in-laws, I've been so wonderful. My in-laws have been so wonderful and supportive. I thank you very much for being there for me always. I appreciate all of you. You can see one of them just struggled to come in here. I want to appreciate you, Ajia Larry Mahmoud. Thank you for coming. Yes, sir. Yes, to my family now. My special appreciation and gratitude goes to my wife, my darling wife. That is Mrs. Ramotu Mahmoud, who incidentally is related to the emir. I don't know what emir will do at the end of this inaugural lecture. She has made my life complete and comfortable over 15 years. You are such a special gift from God. May Allah reward you and bless you in abundance. Thank you. To my children are so wonderful, and each of them possesses special attribute I adore. I like being with them always. They are Muhammad, Umar, Zainab, Ahmad, and the last, Al-Hussein. That is my father-in-law. Yes. Thank you for the happiness we enjoy together, and there is never a dull moment at home. Yes. Finally, Mr. Vice Chancellor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here today to witness my inaugural lecture. May Allah reward all of you abundantly. Thank you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that was wonderful delivery.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Can we all sit down, please? Let's prepare. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it all from Professor Engineer Abdullahi Mohammed of Lapai Emirates. I can see that the entire traditional institution of Lapai Emirates is here with us. Bagadoji, we are coming into the presentation of certificates and plaque to the inaugural lecturer who happened to be their own son. For permission, we are going into the presentation of the certificate proper. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is the certificate that will be presented to the inaugural lecturer, and I will read the wordings for you to know exactly what it is. The first thing is Federal University of Technology, Minna, Nigeria, where we are. Certificate of presentation. This is to certify that Engineer Professor Abdullahi Mohammed, with all the qualifications, has successfully presented the 105th edition of the inaugural lecture series. This day, 4th October 2023, signed by the Vice Chancellor of the University and the Registrar, who is the Secretary to the Council. Congratulations. Again, the last one is the plaque presented to Engineer Professor Abdullahi Mohammed in appreciation to for the presentation of 105th inaugural lecture. This is 4th of October. Rather, he will be the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic Services.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I've been made to understand that there is a presentation by Niger State Chapter, Nigerian Society of Engineers. Can they come forward, please, for presentation? Please, civil engineering department, get ready. And any other group that want to make presentation, please get ready.
On behalf of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, of which my Royal Highness is a proud fellow, I wish to present this flag of honor to a very distinguished engineer, Professor Abdullahi Mohammed MNSC, for successfully delivering the 105th Inaugural Lecture of the Federal University of Technology. Congratulations, engineer.
Next, please. The next group, please. Civil engineering. Civil engineering department.
On behalf of Civil Engineering Department of Federal University of Technology, Minna, we are presenting this token to Engineer Professor Mohammed Abdullahi as a token, as an appreciation for the 105th Inaugural Lecture of the Federal University of Technology, Minna, excellently delivered this afternoon. Thank you and thank God for granting your life. Thank you.
Academic planning, I think the number can be repeated. Civil engineering, please.
Congrats, eh? Yeah, the next person.
Okay, academic planning, please. Academic planning.
On behalf of the academic planning, we want to congratulate you for the inaugural lecture well delivered and for being our boss. Very simple and humble boss. Thank you very much and God bless you.
Thank you. Institution of Civil Engineers.
Thank you very much.
Quick. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, also Abdullahi Mohammed, a member of the Nigerian Institute of Civil Engineers, and it happens also at the fellow of Nigerian Institute of Civil Engineers, who is also the head of the file. On behalf of the institution, we wish to present you this token for your effort and contribution to the institution, which is a division of Nigerian Society of Engineers. Thank you very much. Thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, PhD students, where are they? Okay, please.
Take the mic.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor. On behalf of all students supervised by Engineer Professor Abdullahi, we want to congratulate him on this official occasion, and we wish him success in his future endeavors. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. And distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as usual, when we have an event like this, it is natural that we acknowledge the presence of very important dignitaries.
I think they can go.
And I want to start by His Royal Highness, Engineer Alhaji Umar Bagobi, Emir of Lapai. Thank you very much for
The cello.
They did not just come along we have
Abdullahi Dokaji mai martaba ya gaishe ka da kyau. Sarki ya ce Allah ya kara albarka. Mai martaba Allah ya ce Allah ya sa ka gama lafiya.
We have Alhaji Ibrahim Tepida. Thank you very much for raising this very important issue. We have Alhaji Shehu Mohammed Kobo, the district head of Chetu. Please permit me if I pronounce wrongly. Alhaji Habib Ukau Tepida. We have Alhaji Yakubu Santali, Rubo Ching Lapai. We have Alhaji Yakubu Hassan, Tansaran Lapai. Dr. Abdullahi Usman, Ubandoma Lapai. We have Mohammed Hassan, former ACG, Civil Defense, who I don't know whether Niger State or Nigeria as a whole.
Nigeria.
We have Umar Mahmoud Lapai. His name sounds familiar. I think he was my senior in secondary school. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. You're welcome, sir. Thank you, sir.
Arch Commission.
Dr. Usman Abdullahi, consultant, Medical Center, Bida. We have Branch Chairman, Nigerian Society of Engineers, Niger State Chapter. You're welcome, sir. We have Chapter Chairman, Nigerian Civil Engineers. Dr. Isa Umar, consultant, IBD Specialized Hospital in Minna, Niger State. The immediate family members. And I think the powerful woman, Ajia Rahmat Mahmoud, the wife of our inaugural lecturer. We want to sincerely thank you because you have actually made the home front very peaceful. That is why anytime you come out from his house, it's always very peaceful. Thank you very much for that effort. We have Mohammed Abdullahi, his son. Thank you for coming. Where is he? I'm seeing them for the first time, but I think it's we have Umar Abdullahi, the son. Zainab Abdullahi, the daughter. We have Ahmed Abdullahi, another son. And Hussein Abdullahi, another son. Thank you for the wonderful study at home. My sister, this one, my sister Aisha Usman Abba, where is she? Very close friend to the family. I mean to my own family. Aisha Alfa Mohammed, sister, Ibrahim Mohammed Alfa, Fatima Mohammed Alfa, Abdullahi Mohammed Alfa, Alhaji Yakubu Hassan, Onku, Zainab Mohammed Sheshi, Isa Mahmoud, Hajia Zainab Mahmoud, Hajia Habiba Mohammed, and they have our mother, Hajia Lari Mahmoud Lapai. We are very, very grateful. We sincerely appreciate the good work you have been doing. We also have our own background in the university community. There are pioneer staff and who have actually been able to get to this level. And I know that we have the immediate registrar, the former registrar of the university, Mrs. Victoria Nao Kolo, who is here with us. We also have their own background, who was here with us, who actually kept the account of the university in fact, without one naira. Did
is Hajia Hajara Abdullahi FUT. We are very good. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we want to sincerely thank each and every one of you. The fact that we did not mention your name does not mean that we don't recognize you. I wanted to stand up first before calling this name to apologize to His Royal Highness. He said that there will be casualties in the protocol because I did not know that Engineer Prof Abdullahi Mohammed is the grassroots man. Not until when this inaugural lecture took place, I now realize that he has a direct connection with his function. We want to sincerely appreciate you, the professors, deans, directors, head of department, and the organizers of this very important event. We appreciate you all. Thank you very much for finding time out of your tight schedule to attend this very inaugural lecture. Finally, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, there is a tradition that we normally observe here. I think it is peculiar with all the states of Niger State. Once you have guests, it is natural that you welcome them and even give them water, even if there is no. We want to inform this gathering that by the time you go out of this lecture theater, there is a food path that will take you to the library foyer, where we have a very small cocktail in honor of our inaugural lecture. We employ all of you to please attend this very important event. It may not be something very serious. We know that you'll be eating a lot of things here. Please just stay with us and take whatever is available there. We want to sincerely thank the university scholars for finding time to attend this very important event. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to declare this event closed. To the glory of God. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice Chancellor. Sir, please, Mr. Vice Chancellor, with your permission, may we all rise for the university answer.
We lift your name on high. Your series to set the pace for us. Excellence is your goal. Federal United Minna, Niger State, a citadel of learning, technological advancement of our life is your primary goal. To build a self-reliant force of sound mind and moral, who will make our nation relevant in global development. FUT Minna, we lift your flag up high. The pride of Nigeria you are, and you will ever be. Our love for you will see.
Please, let's be seated. Let's be seated. While the manager take their leave. After the manager, His Royal Highness and others, please. His Royal Highness, Barbados.
Yes, not all. I posted on our platform. Oh, great.
Please, the cocktail at the library foyer is for our guests, please. The rest of us can go to Cyprus for our refreshment, please. The university staff, please. for the light refreshment.
My Prof, this I'm going to show if you didn't hold it now. I will. Okay? 2 days so. I will work. Now the work you put us. I think you can say it.